All right, y'all know who it is. It's your friendly neighborhood daycare bandit, the creator and innovative professor and teacher of the white line driver technique and the white line driver system. Hey, fellas, put my shoes on. Okay. Keep right, accept the past. For a lot of you, you are under the impression that people that are driving in the left-hand lane are doing things illegal when you show up after you were driving in the left-hand lane. Camping out in the left-hand lane, which is what you were doing before you got to the other vehicles that were in that lane. But you believe that because you're in that lane and you're driving faster than the other vehicles that are in that lane, that the laws suit you and they change for you to benefit you. And so you drive directly up to the vehicles that are already in that lane, and then you try to put each and every vehicle that's in front of you out of that lane because you're there. Now, in most cases, everybody out here drives in the left-hand lane faster than the posted legal speed limit. What I'm getting issues with are the people that are believing that because these people are speeding, that the speeding instantly becomes legal when they do it in the left-hand lane, and that everyone loses their right of way, which is their ability to use that lane and be in that lane because you showed up in the left-hand lane and you were willing to drive faster than the speed limit while in that lane. You are claiming that others are camping out in that lane when you were camping out in that lane, driving faster than the speed limit in that lane. Keep right, accept the pass tells everybody to stay out of that lane unless they needed to pass. But there are those of you that are deliberately driving specifically in that lane, chasing down the vehicles that are in that lane, and then believing keep right, accept the pass kicks in because you showed up in that lane after already camping out in that lane. You believe that the laws change to your favor when the vehicles are in front of you after you've chased them down while speeding. You believe they get to lose their right of way, their ability to use that lane, and their ability to stay in that lane because you were in it. In the beginning, you were in that lane. You were camped out in that lane. You were speeding in that lane. But now that you get to a vehicle that's not speeding as fast as you, that vehicle is now considered to be camping out, and now keep right, accept the pass kicks in. That vehicle no longer has a right to use the left-hand lane because you showed up behind him after being camped out in that lane and speeding in that lane. Your understanding of that law and these traffic laws is flawed because you're not supposed to be speeding in that lane. And these people don't lose their right of way because you are acting as if you are now in charge of it because you got behind their vehicle. Those vehicles have the same rights that you had while there. And you got to stop sitting up telling people that these other vehicles are camping out in the left-hand lane and they're driving slow. You're making it up. They're just not driving as fast as you. None of you are supposed to be driving faster than the speed limit while in that lane. But these people are just simply not driving as fast as you. And in most cases, when you guys are out there driving, right, you'll speed up to make sure you get behind those vehicles that are already in the left-hand lane. But if you weren't speeding, would you need that area they were driving in? Or did you speed up because the way in which you understand the law is that anytime you put your vehicle, now understand this, because this is the part that bothers me the most. The vehicles are going forward, and the people are supposed to be paying attention to the vehicles that are in front of them so that they do not run into the vehicles that are directly in front of them as they're driving. But you believe that while you're driving in that lane with the vehicle going forward, everybody in front of you is supposed to be staring backwards and trying to figure out how to accommodate you because you showed up behind them in that lane. Now, if the left-hand lane the left-hand lane is the lane that everybody will be doing this in. The right-hand lane will be open. And instead of you using that lane to go around the vehicle that is in that lane and driving at the speed limit, you believe you get to put them over there because you are already camped out in the lane. And even when you see the areas in which you can pass, you still don't choose to do it Because you want to believe keep right, accept the past tells everybody in front of you they have to go over there. You don't. You were camped out in that lane before you got to those vehicles. And now because your speeding is faster than their speeding, you now believe you're in charge of that lane, which makes no sense. You guys see these vehicles a mile before you get to them. Choosing to refuse to pass is part of that. You can choose to refuse to pass. But the problem is that you're complaining about what people are doing in the left-hand lane, and you're doing the same thing. You want to believe that you get to attack them because they do not obey you. There are no traffic laws that tell anybody out there that they have to obey you. There are none. But you want to believe that the traffic laws only work in your favor whenever you're speeding on whatever lane you're driving in at the time that you're there, and that the laws don't help them at all stay where they are because it's important that you use that lane. It's not important that they use that lane. It's not important that they were already there. What's important is that they move out of your way whenever you show up. So you start coming up with terms like camping out. Keep right, accept the past tells everybody they are supposed to stay out of the left-hand lane. And that the only time it's supposed to be used is when you're passing. But those of you complaining about keep right, accept the pass are camped out in that lane. It's how you make it to the back of those vehicles that are already camped out in that lane. None of you are supposed to be there. But you're angry about them already being there. In front of you, not obeying you, and not moving out of your way because you believe they should, because the law only works for you, right? And there are some of you that want to believe that the people speeding in that lane are justified in speeding in that lane, and that it does not affect anything as long as you move out of their way. They shouldn't, the people that are already on the highway have right of way. They shouldn't have to move out of your way. They shouldn't. They're already there and you saw them before you got behind them. You chose to drive directly up to your vehicle and stay behind them. You did that to you. Now you want to use laws and incorrect understandings of them to make people believe that they have to move for you or they have to obey you because you show up and tailgate them. I'll wait for your guys' actual understanding of the true traffic laws to kick in after it causes you enough problems and enough harm out here on these roads and highways before you decide to try to understand right of way, passing, and the speed limit are a part of driving. I'm the Daycare Bandit. I'm the creator, innovator, professor, and teacher of the White Line Driver Technique and the White Line Driver System. And as always, you're going to keep having problems because you don't understand those laws. And as always, be your own man.